Cyril Ramaphosa's involvement in MTN. There is an interesting article, and I quote, "MTN faces US complaint for allegedly aiding making payments to Taliban," close quote.
Foreign-owned businesses in South Africa and Nigeria are under siege, leading major businesses to close their doors on Wednesday. South Africa's MTN and Shoprite closed stores in Nigeria on Wednesday after their facilities were attacked. That was in retaliation for riots in South Africa that targeted foreign-owned companies, including Nigerian businesses. Nigeria is telecoms operator MTN's biggest market and accounts for a third of the South African group's core profit. Supermarket chain Shoprite said several stores in South Africa, Nigeria and Zambia were closed, and extensive damage had been caused over the past 24 hours. South African police have arrested almost 300 people and confirmed several deaths after the conflict in Johannesburg and the capital Pretoria in recent days. Meanwhile, its president Cyril Ramaphosa told officials and business leaders also on Wednesday that he was committed to quelling attacks on foreigners that have threatened to cast a cloud over an economic forum aimed at boosting intra-African trade. This latest wave of unrest in South Africa rekindled memories of violence and strained diplomatic relations with Nigeria. Though it's unclear what ignited the latest round of riots in South Africa, high unemployment, frustration with limited economic opportunities have been cited as possible triggers. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari said Tuesday he was urgently sending a special envoy to meet with Ramaphosa to secure the safety of lives and property.
He was the chairman of MTN for many years, as the following article explains. Cyril Ramaphosa retires as MTN Director Chairman. An article by Gareth van Zyl, done on the 6th of March 2013. Deputy President of South Africa's African National Congress, the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, has retired from his position as a non-executive director and chairman of the mobile operator MTN. Ramaphosa said in December that, owing to his election to the position of ANC Deputy President at the ANC's 53rd National Conference in Mangwan, he had initiated a review of his interests in business. Ramaphosa was appointed to the MTN board on the 1st of October 2001 and has been serving as chairman of the MTN board since 2002. He has also been chairman of the Nominations Committee as well as a member of the Remuneration and Human Resource Committee at MTN. And MTN has released a statement on Wednesday saying, and I quote, "Shareholders are advised that Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, a non-executive director and chairman of MTN, will be retiring at the forthcoming annual general meeting of shareholders on 28th of May 2013, close quote. Mr. Ramaphosa has now informed MTN that he wishes to relinquish his position as non-executive director and chairman of MTN and will therefore not avail himself for re-election at the annual general meeting to be held on 28th of May 2013, read the statement. MTN last year reported that it had just over 170 million subscribers across its African and Middle East operations. During Cyril Ramaphosa's tenure as chair of the board, the company moved billions of rands earned in Africa to offshore tax havens. So in October of 2015, the Amabungane site, which is the Center of Investigative Journalism, has published an article titled Ramaphosa and MTN's Offshore Stash. And it's quite a lengthy article, but I will cover it in a future episode. But there's just one paragraph I would like to share with you, and it is: shortly after Cyril Ramaphosa left MTN to become South Africa's deputy president last year, he lashed out at companies that made profits disappear, in brackets, by shifting them, and in brackets, to low tax operations where there is little or no genuine activity. Also, Cyril had shares in MTN. Here are a few excerpts from the article. The forensic probe also flags South Africa's Public Investment Corporation, PIC, as having received an irregular forex clearance around the time it acquired its MTN Nigeria stake. Amabugani has established that the PIC stake was bought from Shanduka in 2015. Ramaphosa's family trust held a 29.6% stake in Shanduka, but he eventually unbundled his shareholdings after he became deputy president in 2014. The fact that the PIC bought most of Ramaphosa's stake also appears to have been concealed until recent inquiries by Finance Uncovered and Amabungani. The investment was a bad one for PIC. The shares were declared to be worth 2.8 billion at the time of purchase, but in the 2017 annual report for the PIC, they were valued at only 996 million, 35% of what they were bought for. A full article can be read where Standard Bank, Standard Chartered and Citigroup are also mentioned. Furthermore, this is a very interesting article, and it titles "Why Iran's Nuclear Program Would Not Exist Without South Africa." Here are a few excerpts of the article. Private sector cooperation between the two countries is also growing, as is the level of intrigue. Of particular interest is Africa's largest telecom, South Africa's MTN, which has made substantial investment in Iran, with a 49% stakes in both in Iran Cell Communication Services and state-owned internet provider Iranian Net. MTN has also invested in Iran's internet group which runs the Snapper Iran Ride sharing app. Controversy surrounds MTN's acquisitions in Iran, as the company repatriates $1 billion trapped in the country during US-led sanctions. Specifically, MTN's Turkish competitor, Turkcell, filed a 60-page complaint in 2012 as part of a civil suit in a US court, claiming that MTN had muscled Turkcell out of the competition for the aforementioned 49% stake of Iran Cell. Turkcell claimed that MTN bribed Iranian officials and shared details about vehicles, military equipment, and UN votes, which South Africa would provide Iran if MTN won the bid. The case was withdrawn in 2012 after the US Supreme Court ruled that American courts could no longer try international corporate civil suits. Turkcell lodged the case with the High Court in Johannesburg in 2013, with the case finally going on trial in June 2017. Turkcell is claiming $4.2 billion in damages in potential lost revenue, citing that the 49% stake in Irancell was originally awarded to the Turkish firm in 2005. 2012 also saw the American advocacy group United Against Nuclear Iran, the UANI, launch a public campaign for MTN to scale back its operations in Iran. UANI claimed that MTN's technology was allowing the Iranian government to locate and track individual cell phone users. To make matters worse for the company, Chris Kilawan, a former MTN executive in Iran, alleged that MTN was complicit to secure telecommunication technology for Sun Microsystems, Hewlett-Packard and Cisco systems for the Iranian government in contravention of international sanctions. Turkcell's reference to South Africa's offer to sell UN votes bring us neatly to another important fact of South Africa's relationship with Iran, namely Pretoria's support for Tehran at the international level. Alongside supporting Iran's efforts to join the BRICS organization, South Africa has been a staunch supporter of Iran at the United Nations, describing unilateral pre-Iran nuclear deal sanctions as illegal and irrational. Alongside the UN and IAEA, South Africa also uses its considerable influence in the African Union, AU, to aid Iran.